Hey everybody, it's Mike again, and today I'm going to talk about a concept that I touched on in a previous video. It's called maneuver, pivot, and win. Maneuver, pivot, and win. How can you maneuver, pivot, and win, and what does it mean? Well, maybe you've heard the phrase, there's more than one way to skin a cat. And if you don't like that phrase, it's not meant in the way you're thinking. How about this? There's more than one way to do something, okay? There are multiple ways of getting things done. And maybe you're finding yourself in a position where you need to make some moves, like a basketball game. You know, these guys pivot this way, pivot that way to get the shot. Maybe that's what you need to do. And the way you do that is you got to take a time out. Take a time out, get your thoughts together, and try to figure another way to maneuver around the obstacle in front of you. Another way to get around the obstacles or obstacle that is in front of you. So, maneuver, pivot, and win. If you're doing the same thing you've been doing and getting the same result, then it's time to maneuver, pivot, and win. If you've been doing that same thing the same way, getting the same result, you're wasting your time. So, whatever it is that you're facing, maybe you need to start maneuvering, pivoting, and winning. That'd be great. You need a win. Everybody needs a win. There's nothing better than a win to change your attitude. It's the old adage, like I had a client of mine that was a multi-millionaire, worked his way up from nothing. And I remember him telling me one time, he said, "Hey, Mike, always keep some money in your billfold." He says it helps your attitude, changes your attitude. So, maybe you got a debit card, great. Maybe you got a credit card, great. But there's no substitute for having a little bit of cash on you at all times, because if the debit cards go down or the credit cards go down, you can get something to eat or get the gas you need to get home, whatever. It definitely changes your attitude. It gives you a feeling of security. So maybe you're looking at a situation where you're like, okay, I'm not feeling too secure right now, things aren't really going the way that I want them to go. Okay, well, that's the key. That's your signal. It's time to maneuver, pivot, and win. Start looking for a different way around the obstacle. Start looking for a different way to get a new job. Send an email out to some of your contacts. Hey, I think I may want to look at making a change here in the near future. Here's my resume. Can you keep me in mind? Doesn't cost you anything. It's free. Email's free if you got internet or phone. And what's the worst going to happen? They're either going to not answer, okay, or they're not going to answer now, or they answer, or maybe they answer later. Either way, you planted a seed. But if you don't plant the seed, you don't maneuver, you don't pivot, then you're not going to win. If you don't maneuver and you don't pivot, you're not going to win when the opportunity is there. If you don't take the shot right now, while you got the opportunity, you may not get the shot next time. So take the shot. Take the shot. Basketball season's around the corner. They say you get an opportunity to take the shot, take the shot. That's it. Don't always say, well, I don't know if I want to do that because then this way, you can't overthink it, man. You're looking for opportunity. You do your homework. Yeah, I get it. But at the end of the day, you got to take the shot. If you've practiced, you've done all your homework, and you've got all the information, you've studied the information, it's time to take the shot. What's the worst case? You're going to still end up where you are right now. But you may make the shot. And if you take shots, you're going to make some of the shots. So again, I'll leave it there. Maneuver, pivot, and win. Thanks for listening.